when I walk through a jam. No one knows who I am. Put your head on my chest, and I'm Mr. Success.
Good morning. You are listening to the Inevitable Radio Show and Mr. Success. Old Blue Eyes. Love that song. I hope you are creating great success in your life. You're listening to the Inevitable Radio Show. I'm your host, William Sumner. Mary, are you a good procrastinator?
Yeah, I do. I put things off a lot.
A powerful procrastinator. You can procrastinate on anything.
Yeah, I'd rather not put things off.
So
like going to the dentist, going to the doctor, all those kind of things you put off.
So, Mary, you almost rise to the level of a professional procrastinator, one of the best procrastinators on the planet, correct?
Yes, probably.
Okay, so here's the cool news. You do not want to get rid of procrastination. You do not want to get rid of this tool, because when you use procrastination for your benefit, you're going to find something really incredible begins to happen. So here's how it works. You procrastinate on reaching for a donut because, hey, you can put off anything, and if you're not reaching for a donut and you're hungry, I guess you're going to have to eat carrots and something good, correct?
No, I'll take the donut.
Well, see, you just said you can procrastinate on anything. So you change the object and the focus of your procrastination. So you procrastinate on turning on the TV when you're tired at home, because when you don't turn on the TV, because that's the number one reason why people say they don't go to the gym, is because they watch TV. So if you procrastinate on doing the things that you don't want in your life, see, most people use procrastination as a tool to procrastinate on the things that they say that they want. So they want X, or they want Y, or they want Z, and they procrastinate on it. Well, if you procrastinate on the opposite, so when you are procrastinating on the things that you want, you are doing things that you say you really don't want, correct?
Yes.
Just flip that procrastination tool. Procrastinate on everything that you don't want. So on one side of the paper, write down all the things you don't want in your life. On the other side of the paper, write down all the things that you do. Now, the neural recipe card that you have been using in the past is you've procrastinated on everything that you said you want. But when you procrastinate on everything on the left-hand side of that piece of paper, all the things that you don't want, guess what you never get in your life?
What?
The things you don't want.
Yeah.
They never happen because you're a powerful procrastinator, which means you now get to do and have and choose and be all the things that you do want. And I said something really interesting will happen, and it's one of two things for you. The first one is you start doing everything that you want to do. You go to the gym, you eat healthy, you call your friends, you call your sister-in-law. You turn projects in at work ahead of time. Yay, you have an incredible life. That's what the above average top 1% of people on the planet do. They just procrastinate on the other stuff because everybody loves donuts or really sugary foods or whatever your food craving is. Everybody wants it, but the top 1% are great at procrastinating, or another fancy psychological word is delayed gratification. They delay doing the things that would most people record are bad for you, like eating donuts. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now, the other thing is, if you do not have the life that you want, if you're still not eating well, going to the gym, making a lot of money, having all the love on the planet, but you're procrastinating on the bad things, you got to ask yourself the question, so what's the real reason why I'm not calling my sister-in-law?
Probably because I don't want to talk to her about her dying. That's why I know that reason why. I should procrastinate on other too, like you said, going to the spa and doing everything else I like to do.
Yeah, why do you not give yourself the incredible life that on one hand you believe you deserve?
I have a very busy, hectic life. I'm a single mom now because my husband passed away, and trying to paint every day takes most of my energy up.
There's a great analogy story by an author named Stephen Covey. And he was teaching a time management course because somebody like you generally is pretty overwhelmed with time, are you not?
Yes.
So he makes this metaphor. He's in front of a class and he's teaching them all how to manage their time, fit more things into their day, get more focused in life. And he pulls out this big glass jar, and he sets it on the podium. And into the glass jar, he takes a bucket of these big rocks, and he puts big rocks into the glass jar until it's completely full. And he asks the audience, can I get any more rocks into the jar? And they say,
No.
no. And then he pulls up a bucket of gravel, little tiny pebbly rocks. And now he kind of sifts and pours that in, and they kind of fill in around the rocks, and he gets some more gravel into the glass jar. And when that's full, he said, can I get anything more in the jar?
And it's still no?
Most people say no. Then he pulls up sand. And he pours in sand in the jar until it's full of, now it's got sand and gravel and big rocks. And he says, now can I get anything more in the jar?
Yes, if he sifts to the sand so it goes to the bottom, maybe?
Yeah. He pulls up a pitcher of water. And now he fills it with water. And he says, what's the moral of the story?
I don't know. Can you tell me?
Of course I
got to bed
can.
at midnight and got back up.
That's what I'm here for. Of course I can. Most people will say, well, the moral of the story, I'm in a time management course. If I just manage my time better, if I break things up, if I do everything efficiently and I put a little here and a little there and pack this here and all the typical time management laws and principles that most time management authors and speakers talk about is, well, if you break it up more efficiently, you'll get more done in your day. And Stephen says, no, that's not the moral of the story. His moral of the story is, if you don't put the big rocks in the jar first, they never get in.
Oh, that's true.
Thank you for listening to the Inevitable Podcast. Please visit our website for more information on this extraordinary coaching system at www.theinevitableyou.com. Then, sign up for your 2-week free trial of our membership to gain access to hundreds of hours of amazing content and tools just like this. Now, back to Bill.
So as you look at your hectic life, Mary, and look at all the things that are taking place, you have to know, what are your big rocks, and do they get in the jar first? And when you do that, 1, you begin to have incredible power. 2, procrastination is not the reason why you do not have what you want. You do not do things that you want because in reality you're probably torn about them. There's a sense of obligation to call your sister-in-law, but you're more afraid and it hurts more to deal with someone that's dying, for you, because we all fear our own death for the most part, and other personal reasons, and we don't know what to say, and we feel stupid when we call somebody that's dying, and what do we say? Like, how's the weather there? I mean, well, how do we say something profound? So
yes, that's true.
We go through these phases where, we do not eat well, we do not exercise well, we do not do the things that we say that we want because we have these recipe cards that are running that at the end of the day, we blame procrastination, and it's not procrastination. It's that you don't want to call your sister-in-law. It's that you're not interested in being thin and healthy and vibrant right now. It's too hard, perhaps, or you don't perceive yourself as being that way. So it's not congruent to eat well because it's just as easy to procrastinate for donuts or potato chips or whatever your food craving is that's wrecking your nutritional plan right now. It's just as easy to eat well as it is to eat poorly. But we blame procrastination. But we have to get really serious about our lives and focus on getting the big rocks into the jar that we want.
My husband, one thing before he died, he always says, Mary, you always said that we could do it, being in a painting business, and I did. I looked back, and it's like, wow, I did tell him that. Every time he was scared, I always looked at him and said, no, we could do it. After 20-something years, that's all I told him.
And that's one thing you don't really particularly procrastinate on. You're doing a good job at that business, are you not?
Yes, it's slow because of the economy, but I do work very hard.
Well,
I have to work.
Here's the good news, though, Mary, with the housing slowdown, with everything that's going on, actually more people are going to be interested in repairing and painting, and instead of moving and spending money on movers and new upgrades and all the things we did when the economy was booming, painting is actually a business that will pick up in tough times because more people will stay where they are and they'll repaint. Now, there's some people that are going to leave the house till every last paint chip flakes off the house. But if you are an incredible painting company, you have a high integrity, you deliver high value, you can actually charge a premium for your work. And there's going to be people that have the money, because one of the things about this recessionary psychology that's taken place, there's a lot of people out there that have money, but they're hanging on to their money because they're afraid, because every bit of news they're getting is telling them that it's a tough time. And so you can look at all the pundits over the holidays trying to predict 2009. There's a very wide divergence from we've seen the worst of it already, and it's going to start moving to we haven't even imagined the bottom of this. But the reality is what's going to happen is driven by the psychology of the people participating in it. And if you listen to the press tell you that you are in a bad place, you're going to be there. But know this, Mary, there is a reason why in 1930 there were more millionaires per capita created in this country than ever has been created in its financial recording history. Because the amount of opportunity for great people to create money and wealth and abundance and opportunity out of these kind of tough times, they'll rise to the top and they take off. It is not procrastination that's holding you back. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
Thank you very much. And Mary, what I want you to do is think about, ponder what your New Year's resolution is going to be in light of what we've talked about. And we're going to create a magical, incredible new year.
Thank you for listening to the Inevitable Podcast. Please visit our website for more information on this extraordinary coaching system at www.theinevitableyou.com. Then, sign up for your 2-week free trial of our membership to gain access to hundreds of hours of amazing content and tools just like this.